Boa noite a todos. Welcome back to Tom Plays EU4 for absolute beginners. We're back with Portugal, and yeah, more colonising. I think is the plan. Just taking stock. Right. So we could also do more exploring. So let's get on with that. I'm going to head up the coast, since that's usually the less damaging way to explore. And we are Portugal after all, so we should be trying to explore the world. Mercenary companies. Hopefully we've actually used any mercenaries yet, and may never do. So I'm still not a huge fan. I do like the way they're doing the mercenaries now. I do think it's an improvement. I just not a big fan of mercenaries. Just fill in this area. See, the Ottomans haven't made that much. Well, they ate Hungary and Wallachia, didn't they? So they're making progress. They're just not moving over here very much. I suppose maybe they're focusing on Europe. Going to need to slow this down. Ships are getting damaged already. There we go. So, head back down to Comoros. So, right, brilliant. Filled in a bit more of a world. Lost a diplomatic insult. Can't say I care. Really need to start rebuilding the military, rebuilding the navy. But at the same time, still mostly focused on colonisation. Okay, there we go. What have we got? Renewed a loan, had an uprising, put the uprising down. Nothing important, particularly. Finished improving relations. Growth of the printing industry, right. A new institution has hit, presumably somewhere in Germany. Here, Lüneburg. Yeah, so oh, brilliant. So we do actually, it looks like we're actually starting to get it in Lisboa. So probably because it's quite developed. So that is definitely good. It'll take a while before we get any of the disadvantages anyway. Certainly to any great extent, but I'm pleased that it's at least appeared in Portugal. Okay, brilliant. Right, so that colony's finished, so we want to instantly get moving on the next one in Panama. Want to get these guys to 10 as soon as we can, but we now have a colony down here. So we should look at, yeah, we should make it a state, and then we should core it. But we do want to look at building ships. We want to start exploring all of this area. Try and fill in the world from either direction. Is that Australia? Interesting. We really are going to be getting a head start on Australia this time. I'm just still concerned about our the disadvantage we're facing in the Americas. Right, okay. We'll just leave that colony to grow. keep working our way up the coast here. And keep exploring. Let's discover India. I'm going to be assigning diplomats any minute as well. There we go. Right, so let's quickly move across. Nice and simple, no ships needed, not even a lot of thought needed. And I believe we've probably succeeded in some missions now. Oh yeah, should have called that one as well. We should get on with the Counter-Reformation, although this isn't really Counter-Reformation given the fetishist. And what have we succeeded in? They're going to be all up here. We have settle in Central Africa and Brazilian dominance because of that. So that should help on money, which is good. We need to rebuild our navy to fulfill the next missions. But ideally we could do with paying off the loans first. Oh, Castile has disputed succession. So in theory we could become incredibly lucky there, and we could actually gain Castile for nothing. King's only 43 years old though, so it's extremely unlikely, but it does occasionally happen. Oh, what am I doing? Get your ships back if they're getting too damaged. You see, as usual, the warning comes slightly too late. Right. Might try and improve relations with the Ottomans, the Commonwealth. I'm just looking at their opinions of us. Lüneburg. No big deal, but they're just minus 20. We can fix that easily enough. So let's just go ahead. Should probably think about doing Castile, to be fair, just to give us an even better chance. Still. Yep, left it too late. Okay, harsh treatment. They've pleaded for aid. Generally, you're better off showing charity, just because it increases settler chances. Especially when the cost is only 20 ducats. Lost even more ships. And we have the plague. That's very unfortunate. Let's pay off a loan in the hope that it will stop us losing too much money as a result of that. No, nothing major. Right, let's see if we can summon a diet. Still only have 3 relationships. Head to estates. What have you got for me? Something different, please. Right, so Porto, the clergy want a new farm estate. Expensive. Nobility want us to attack someone again. They are obsessed with attacking people. Oh, finally the burghers want something that isn't improve a trade province. I might go for that one. Production infrastructure. A Vero production infrastructure. And we'll gain 1 base production. I think that's good. So it should be simple enough. It's a shame the institution hasn't hit there yet. Although on the plus side, it should actually give us a boost towards the printing press anyway. So we literally just need to do 2 or 3 of these. Okay. That threw me. I obviously didn't look closely enough. Nope, they want a workshop or accounting house. There you go. Never mind. Nonetheless, it's still giving us a little boost towards the printing press. Although we'd probably do better having put that boost towards institution thread, really. Well, to be fair, I think we're vastly ahead in terms of military and diplomatic anyway. So I do wonder if we would be better off ploughing resources into these in any case. So I might do that. I might sacrifice a ton of diplomatic and military power, simply because let's just see, how close are we? I mean, we're pretty close, to be fair, and there's not much of a minus, so we might be better off getting it one last time before this kicks in, and then maybe we'll start ploughing a load of power into getting the institution spreading. Yeah, I might do that. Might let us just get these first. Right, but we need to build a workshop in there, which is good. I mean, we want a workshop anyway. We want manufacturers anyway, like the farm estate the clergy was after. But okay, great. But the problem is that they are far more expensive. Need to get this to 150 before we can do anything, don't we? Fair enough. Not a problem. Okay, so not amazing, but that was at least successful insofar as it goes. I'm going to try to push back this sea a bit. I don't think there's anything there. Just in case. Probably should have filled in some of this actually, because there are actually islands down here. But nonetheless, we can't do everything. Okay, this is a plague. Sweating sickness. Okay. Piety or spend every effort? I think we should go for spend every effort. It's going to give us another loan, but I think we can cope with that. And I'd rather use the diplomatic and military power for other things. The diplomatic power, sorry. So what I'm thinking is get one last technology in each category, and then we'll start ploughing our money into spreading the printing press. Oh, we've got another one. We have early modern administration. Okay, brilliant. We've got a different unit type. Should just slide that down. I think we've already had those. Right, large versus small. Honestly, either is an option. I'll go for the small one. It's more portable. You need to get back to the island. In fact, don't even go to the island. Go there. Less chance of losing a ship that way. On the plus side, apart from the trading ships, we'll pretty much end up replacing all of our ships because I've managed to cleverly lose them. So at least our navy will be modern. Once we've got our diplomatic tech, which we probably would have already if I hadn't foolishly failed to read the estate diet's request. Never mind. Just improving relations. Is Castile still disputed? Castile is still disputed. Okay, I'm going to improve relations with them then. Just as soon as we get our diplomat back. Wouldn't hurt, you never know. Oh. Oh, it's not disputed anymore. Never mind. So, you know, we could have got it for free, but unfortunately Carlos has managed to produce an heir, so not going to happen. We should try to save the merchant, pretty much always, as a trading province. Trading province. As a trading nation. So, not a huge amount happening this time. We completed the estate, so at least that's successful, which is not a bad thing. Apart from having the plague. Problem is, basically, I want to get these loans paid off before I start building up the army or the navy. So in a lot of ways, there's a waiting game. We've got a government reform, so we should definitely do that. Let me just... Actually, time, and I will go ahead with it. So what do we have? Absolutism and constitutionalism. Okay. So, l'état c'est moi. So this is a centralised one. Gives us more governing capacity. I have to say, I have yet to have a game where I've had an issue with governing capacity. I think you can increase it anyway. What's this? Regional representation. Whereas this, I think, is a +2 autonomy. So I might go for this one. Especially because we're so keen on the diets. Much as I like being an absolute ruler. Okay, gonna pull you guys back, at least once I reclaim you. We have the time, shipbuilding time, not an issue. I am not in a big hurry. Right, where are we up to? Let's improve relations with colonial nations. I'm always absolutely paranoid about them suddenly deciding they want independence. And we'll put in improvements in with Brittany as well. Our other ally. Well, I suppose technically Carbu is an ally as well. Need to watch that. Not sure what's happened to the Congo, but they might decide these lands are theirs as well. You'd think not, seeing as I had to colonise them. Diplomatic insult on Seuss. Okay. Advancement of ability, that's fine. Yeah, I do see what they mean. We should possibly look at attacking some of the other nations, but we should build up the military first. And we should pay off the loans before we build up the military. Right, let's just vastly increase the speed. Finish the diet. Repay the loan if we can. Finish improving relations, that's fine. once again. Right, our diplomats are available once more. And we've gained what will probably be our last diplomatic technology. We now have the brig. Caravel. Yeah, well, we only really care about carracks and brigs, so Galeas next time isn't a big deal. But you see, we're now ahead in all of them. So I do want to start concentrating on institution spread. We need to send diplomats out as well. So let's just pick some random people. Some of the bigger nations around here. Did we do Commonwealth? We did, but we can actually have an alliance with them now. Brilliant. Thank you, Commonwealth. So that'll bring our diplomatic relations up to 4, which is great. Commonwealth is also generally quite powerful, so there's obviously a danger they'll drag us into a war. But at the same time, they're well worth having as an ally, pretty much for any nation. So basically a combination of Poland and Lithuania, who are quite a combination. Lithuania is much bigger, Poland is generally more technologically advanced, and Commonwealth on the whole. I think historically it wasn't quite as dangerous because there were strict limitations on what the monarch could do, which aren't really represented in the game the same. But yeah, definitely worth having as an ally. So that's good. Brilliant. Who else? Naples? Wouldn't hurt. We do need to improve with Rome again soon. We're also about to gain a new papal blessing, which is good. Can always use those. Might even be able to get a monetary one if we're not, if our prestige one hasn't run out, which it may have. Now, still can't quite afford it. There we go. Right, no, the prestige one hasn't run out. So, how is our money? Actually, the money's really, really good. So, might go for diplomatic reputation instead. We also need to spend some papal influence towards becoming the next Curia controller. It's only going to cost us 5, so that's another thing to do. Repay a loan. This is good news. This is good news. Cheaper ships. That's very good news, because we're about to embark on a new policy of shipbuilding just as soon as this loan is paid. It'll take us too long. Okay, we lost our chance to become the Curia controller. Not to worry. What have we got? Growth colony in Panama. Excellent. Oh, brilliant. That's the kind of thing that the burgers are always wanting us to do, but it seems to be largely accidental. Okay, some colonies are finished. Right. So the big question is, do we go north or do we go south? The thing is, we might have the opportunity to start attacking people, as I'm not sure there's as much for us in the north. I'm wondering if we should be edging towards this colony here. Allied with Mosquito up here? Yeah. Highly debatable. There are a lot of options as to where we go next. I might even head down the middle simply because it improves the number of places people can colonise, even though I'm not... I suppose really I should be thinking about sealing the areas off. I just want to give a lot of options for which direction the colony themselves can go in. No, actually, change my mind, that's silly. We should be taking coastal areas, because no one can colonise this area. Apart from these guys in theory, but they probably don't have the technology. So let's go there instead. Colonial expansion, yes, I definitely want colonial expansion as much as possible. Tell, excellent, we will keep moving up the coast. This is good, the end is almost in sight, so 1, 2, 3, and then we can probably pull them out and focus on the Americas again, or rather probably focus on Australia. I mean, we can make that a state, but we don't want to core it. And actually remember not to core it this time. So we'll do Natal, but we won't do Kuna. And we will also send a missionary to Natal. So we've got a bit of unrest because of the missionary, which is fine. A colonist is on the way, that's good. Brilliant. So hopefully they will start helping us. And we have finished Cuba. That is fantastic. I don't think I've ever actually done that before. Which is good. Portuguese Brazil is not expanding fast enough. Nope. At least not for my liking. Subsidies have run out, to be fair, so at least do a little bit of subsidies still, seeing as we were doing pretty well on the money. I'm going for 1.50 per year again, which is the maximum improvement in their opinion of us that we can get. Okay, brilliant. Let's send a diplomat here. Probably won't help. No, it's still only going to get us to 149. Just want to be ready for whenever the opportunity arises. Get a random event or something that makes them like us more. So we can swoop in and vassalise them. Okay, that's interesting. Right, still only on the 6% penalty, so we're actually close to getting another idea, but now we're quite a bit penalised, so maybe that won't happen. Okay, that was fast. Oh no, it wasn't. That was the last one that had to go. Actually, I'm going to need ships, aren't I? I don't know if there's anywhere else I can take here. We could go there, but I would generally think it's more valuable to go here. So perhaps we can actually get permission to pass through these people's lands. We can. Brilliant. That makes things much easier, given that our ships are somewhat damaged. Right, brilliant. So I'm thinking this colonist will remain in Africa, while the one in South Africa will move, although it probably doesn't matter that much either way. Which way we do it? Hopefully we'll have a decent navy by the time we're actually doing that, although we still have 3 loans. New land claimed, always good. We should go for production pretty much every time because we're a trading nation. We want as much production as possible because that produces things for us to trade with other people. So every time we convert a province, we do get a boost to our papal influence. Just putting in the minimum papal influence to give us at least a small chance of being the next Curia controller. Surprisingly, that's 9%. I wonder if the Reformation is reducing the number of countries vying for control of the papacy. Could well be. Right. Need some more random nations. I might try and improve relations with Tunis. No point, this year's as a rival, let's not bother then. France. Even though they dislike Castile, we can get France and the UK to like us. So why not? It's nice to be popular. Although I'm not sure them because they've probably got friction with Castile. And they'll have friction with us, to be fair. Okay, if we paid one loan, had to extend another. Influenza, quarantine the port. I think the money we're making is just going up and up, which is good. Peace. That is good. Always good. So we just get these loans paid. Long periods of waiting. The joys of being a colonising nation. Okay, what have we got? +2 stability. Definitely increased stability. That is far more valuable than the other two options here. Far more valuable. There isn't even any question there. Okay, what else? Intercolonial trade. Oh, I see, yeah. So in this one again, paranoid about upsetting the nations, I tend to go with their interests are ours, which gives us a drawback but doesn't increase liberty desire. So my whole intention here is to just keep the colonial nations on board. We're going to be one... Tariffs on grain, Caribus. I think I've already taxed Caribus, so again I'm going to leave it be. Okay, I've got 3 diplomats again. We should probably redo some of our standards soon, but I'm just going to improve relations with Rome, maybe Genoa, maybe Aragon actually, simply because Castile still hasn't formed Spain with them. Just in case. Hedge my bets a bit. I think this is going to go down as the most uneventful video I've ever done. Okay. You colony? Right. Could we, in theory, vassalise these people? We could, but I wonder if we're going to get stuck again. Especially if we end up going next door to them. Might do. Might do, right, I'm going to take Choco. Just thinking about increasing the options for Panama when they become a colonial nation. So there will be a whole bunch of potential provinces. I do wonder if it is worth giving this a go, seeing as we do have... Oh no, hang on, we've got maximum diplomatic relations. There's a reason for that though. It's because we requested military access. So we need to cancel that, because that counts as a diplomatic relation. So unless we think we can do Soyo, which we might be able to be fair. Merchants, I think. Okay, clearly just going to have to remember that next time we get a diplomat. And keep moving up the coast, and Castile have basically really screwed us over there. Because I'm pretty sure we need to start doing military stuff up here. And they've gone and built an African colony right in our way. But we can't do anything about it. We may be able to launch attacks from here, to be fair. If nothing else, I still think we've successfully cut them off from all of these provinces, so we can probably leave those for later. Much later. Try to improve their situation. That's generally a good thing. What do we have? I don't want to make another state, but we must not. Make it a core. So we do, however, want to make this one a core. There we go. Can't be helped. Yeah, we have a reason to attack Castile. Can't say I'm keen. If we're very lucky, the natives might wipe out the colony. Depends how careful they're being in terms of their armies. Okay, let's head into Cameroon. Inherited the throne of Aragon. So we can expect, I think, to be... Oh, there we go. Right, so no longer Castile, now it's Spain. Okay, right, first things first, let's cancel our military access. Let's slow things down a little. Good grief. Yeah, I think we're technologically much more advanced, thankfully, so even though we're outnumbered, we're not really in any danger. Make this a state, make it a core. Yep. Make it Catholic. Have another papal blessing before you know it. Okay, military advisors. What are we looking at? We're looking at 13 per month. However, we're probably not going to be attacking, and this will make our army cheaper to maintain, which will give us more money, and we do need more money at the moment. Let's get this loan repaid, and then we can start finally actually doing something, which would be nice. So first things first, again, as I was trying to say, let's cancel the military access here, and I'm going to use my final diplomatic relation to try to get on well with these guys. And they do have once your provinces though. Is this going to work, or would we just be better off attacking them? Can't feel like we'd be better off attacking them, given that the last one hasn't worked very well. Not to worry then. Right, not going to do that. However, what I am going to do is start building up our navy again. So we are going to want some heavy ships to start with. Right, 4 heavy ships. You get building those. I'm not sure if it's still cheaper. I'm not sure if it still take longer to create. But either way, they are what we need right now. Okay, more papal influence, which is always good. So, papal blessing. We should probably increase mercantilism. It's probably the best way to get money at this stage. We have sufficient trade going on that mercantilism is just going to improve things for us, and we're also going to be losing it every so often when our colonies get upset. So it's going to be a constant fight to keep our mercantilism up. Obviously, given that we're going to have tons of money anyway, we're also going to want to do prestige whenever we can, legitimacy whenever it drops below 100, which it isn't doing at the moment, and diplomatic reputation whenever we can. But right now they're fine, so that isn't a problem. We should be able to call another diet by now. Any chance in military? They want Marrakesh. Trade post on the subcontinent. I'm not even sure how I would go about doing that. I mean, yeah, absolutely want to do that, but not that easy. Mabula. None of these are easy, so I think I might go for Marrakesh this time. I'm going to hope the nobility know what they're doing. And start increasing the size of our army. So we have got room for 15 more troops. Our current army has got no cannons. So I'm not sure if we want all cannons. I might do maybe 10 cannons. Could take a while though. Marrakesh. Okay, they are allied with Tunis, Tafat and Sousse. Their royal marriage. Yeah, so this could actually be quite a fight in itself. Because most of these people aren't willing to join in. Spain is willing to join in, but I don't suppose we've got any chance of doing it diplomatically. Not blinking likely, unfortunately. Right, fine. So, subjugation. Mamluks will join in as well. So we basically want to turn them into vassals. Okay, so we might want to change our military advisor as well. So what do we have? We probably want trade efficiency actually. I have a horrible feeling we might fail this estate. Oh, and we've left this too long. So, I'm assuming... So this is like we've maxed out our military power and we're now wasting it as we gain it. So, Lisboa. So what we want to do is get Lisboa to printing presses present, and then it will start spreading to the two adjacent territories, maybe even further along the coast. So this will pay dividends. So to start with, I'm going to plough diplomatic and military as much as we can. And I'll stick an admin in there for good measure. Right, so that's now present in Lisboa. There's no point improving Lisboa any further, at least this time around. And you see it's now spread all along the coast. So we're now starting to gain the printing press in all of these provinces. It's also benefited Spain. So that gives them a reason to be grateful to us, which is good because we're now getting a 12% extra cost in getting any technology until we embrace the printing press. So we should definitely get a move on. Okay, I think I need, I don't know, 80 something in order to get a favoured advisor. Cities demand older rights. We can deny them. We can lose reform progress. To be honest, reform progress I don't see as that big a deal. We're close to the next one, so I might actually just accept that. Okay, so let's do trade efficiency, because we can definitely afford that advisor. Diplomatic reputation is probably better, but would have been much more expensive. You guys up to the castle. Let's check what it can support. Supply limit is 36, so it can definitely support a much bigger army. Okay, lost our theologian now. Oh well, hardly even a question. Yearly prestige, very useful. And is going to be pretty cheap, as there's only a +1 advisor. So let's go with him. I don't think we yet have the money to be able to just go for like +3 advisors all across the board. We will have, but at the moment it's going to be a mix, probably of +1s and +2s. So on the whole, I'm mostly going for their special ability, the extra little bonus that they offer. Okay, immoral prices. I would say let's go with a real good guy option. And once again, it's costing us money, although that works out quite nicely because it means we've just taken out a loan, so I can hopefully build some more cannons. 4, 5, 6. It's a bit better. Don't want to make either of those a core. The cannons do take a while to build the artillery, so change to ivory, and we've got another colony. Choco, oh brilliant! So Portuguese Colombia has been created. So we're now going to compromise our money even further by subsidising them as soon as we get a diplomat. Do we have a conquistador? We do. So let's head into this land. South along the coast. Brilliant. So they've started a colony there already. We've started the colony here. Is fantastic, that's what we want. Hang on, we haven't started a colony there. Have they started a colony there? Oh, brilliant. These guys are really showing willing. Right, excellent. In which case I will start a colony here. So we can actually get a national idea. I do wonder if we'd be better off ploughing it into institution spread, but then the idea is probably worth having. So we are definitely getting a military idea this time. That's probably offensive versus quality. Land leader shock, infantry combat ability. Go for quality. So we'll take quality ideas. We already are able to get one, so our infantry is going to be more powerful. So this should work out quite well, hopefully. So with that in mind, let's fill up the ranks with infantry, especially as they're rather cheaper. So we just consolidate our army. So we have got room for 6 more before we go over our force limit. Now we could go over the force limit, we might be able to afford it to some extent, but I'm hoping it isn't necessary. I don't think Marrakesh... Well, okay, it might be necessary. It's not just Marrakesh we're going to be fighting, is it? Okay, lost our king, I think. Well, the new king looks pretty good. Got a new royal marriage offer. Should make a new royal marriage offer with Castile and the Commonwealth. Just to reset a bunch of our royal marriages. Okay, so how are we looking in terms of declaring war? Mamluks would still defend them, Spain would still help us. So that's good, at least. Mamluks, Tunis, Sousse. So we've got a reasonable chance of getting these guys to pull out pretty quickly. Might be an option. We maxed out now? Force limit maxed out. We have a lot of naval work to do, but we're only allowed 2 leaders, so our conquistador is kind of what we're stuck with, even though they're not an amazing fighter. So yeah, might possibly leave that for next time. So sorry, it's been pretty uneventful. See, we're slowly building our ships over here, which is good. We'll be able to start exploring. Oh, it's not the end of the world. We've made a new colonial nation. In fact, let's give him a subsidy while I remember. So we want at least plus 150 a year, but I might just push it a little more on the grounds that I can afford it. Especially because they're doing such a good job. They've opened 2 colonies themselves, which is fantastic. I mean, they are vastly increasing our presence. So we obviously want to get them to 10. So they've done 2 colonies, we're doing a third. That's going to get us to 8. I mean, that is pretty good. Nice one. Portuguese Brazil, you can learn from these guys. I mean, look at all these potential colonies you haven't taken. I know you are spreading, but I've been subsidising you to the hilt. You barely seem to have moved, and we do need to get someone in Florida, because Spain is just taking over the north. Mind you, there's also France and England, so they're all going to have a freeway battle over the north by the looks of it, so maybe we should focus on the south instead. Maybe get a presence down here to challenge Spain. Then we could maybe dominate South America and leave those 3 to squabble over the north. Might be worth thinking about. It's just that's just a little hop away from Caribas, so it's quite tempting. Anyway, we need to get this up to 10 first. Although normally I get them up to 10 to get them colonising properly, and they've done it pretty well anyway, so maybe we'll even move after we've done this one. See how it goes. I think. So yeah, but the big news is this estate. We have until we're looking at 1582. So we've got quite a while to do it. Might have long enough to wait for the Mamluks to lose interest. because they're just defender of the faith. They're not particularly interested in Marrakesh. They're also in debt. I was wondering if anyone's on the edge as to whether to attack us. To Fallet, maybe? I was thinking maybe try and improve relations to Fallet, and which I'm probably horribly mispronouncing, and the Mamluks. I don't think we'll actually be able to stop them from attacking us. At least we can bring Spain in, which is now incredibly powerful, thanks to getting Aragon, or not as powerful as it would have been if Aragon had kept Naples. Fine. I mean, you've got to think about the technological difference as well. If you look at Tunis, they're still on 11, and I believe 12 makes a big difference for military power, so it's actually a really good time to attack. Yeah, Mamluks have got 12, but they are also a very long way away. So I'm sort of thinking we can go for these two countries first, hopefully force them to pull out. Maybe Castile will come down and take on the stronger countries, and then we'll come back and plus we only need to vassalize them, don't we? So yeah, worth considering. I just wonder if it'd be worth building a spy network maybe in Sousse, so that when they go for peace we could take some lands from them as well. Might be worth considering. Okay, but we'll leave that for next time anyway, and give you some time to think about it, but I suspect we're going to go ahead and try to fight our first war in, like, goodness knows, 100 years or something ridiculous. Expand our African holdings. So yeah, so apart from the new colonial nation and the upcoming war, and a very minor plague, I think not a lot happened there, but we've made progress, so hopefully things will start to get a bit more exciting as time goes on, especially if this war goes well and it starts making me think we could do a few others. So yeah, we'll see how it goes, but thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.